Rob has a podcast, and now here's the guy who also has bad fashion and bad catchphrases. I'm Rob Cesternino. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Big Brother for Wednesday night. We got to see the return of the Zingbot and the Power of Veto competition here, and we've got a great crew to talk about it here tonight. First, back with us, very excited to chat with Kirsten MacInnis. Kirsten, how are you?
Rob, I'm doing great. I think a little better than you because it is, in fact, Tuesday. Just so you're aware. You said Wednesday night.
So what happened? I left the speaker on in my room, and again, like the podcast started playing on the other computer that's in here. No. So I had to run over and turn it off. This is the second time in a row that I've done that.
I think you were doing like a Bowie Jane, like
come in frame.
Back the curtain,
I know. You know what? Honestly, I think I should do that. Just like jump into the chair every single episode. But yes, okay, this is my first Tuesday night Big Brother, so it's a little new to me, but good to have you here, Kirsten. Back with us, of course, my co-host, talking about one of the other great CBS reality hits, Buddy Games. Please welcome Jenny Autumn.
Hello. Yes, I'm so excited to talk about crap booking, which I thought was what happens in the Facebook groups for the CBS reality shows, but apparently it's something else.
Yes. Okay. Crap book. Okay. All right. And we're so thrilled to have back with us here tonight to talk some Big Brother, of course, the great Jacob Jones. Jacob, how are you?
I'm doing amazing, Rob. Excited to be here with y'all to talk about crap, to talk about jokes, to talk about water and sliding. I'm excited for it all.
Okay. All right. Yeah, this was a fun episode with the Zingbot. Ultimately, we did not get the results from the Power of Veto. We will see that on Thursday night when we will see a jam-packed episode coming up in about 25 hours. We'll be talking about it in 25 hours and watching it in 24 hours. And so join us again on Thursday night for that. We'll take your questions here in the chat for later on in the show as we talk it all through. And I don't know, I thought this was a fun night for the show. You know, Kirsten, I feel like that we hear the zings ahead of time, and like I feel like that's like a telephone game. We're like, oh, that's not very funny. But I feel like that with everybody's reactions to it, I thought this was a fun segment.
Yeah, I thought this was really fun. Truly a vibes only episode of Big Brother, which I'm always here for. And yeah.
You know what? Sorry, the chat is reminding me. Yeah, it's 48 hours. Big Brother on Tuesday. What is this? You know what? I don't like it. I don't like it.
I correct you 2 times, so I was just gonna let that.
Yeah,
you're like, I've done it already.
Oh, Rob, where the hell are you at?
I got to talk about Survivor tomorrow.
That's Rob's zing. You know, you're lost in time, I guess.
I am. Yeah. I don't know.
Bowie Jane would beat you.
Yeah, put Survivor on Tuesday. I gotta like talk about go from Big Brother to Survivor back to Big Brother. What is this?
We have just shuffled Big Brother around so much. We can tell what CBS
and the Amazing Race
and what they don't value.
It's all over the place.
I don't ever know what night the show is on, so it's fine. I think it's completely fine.
I mean, not for anything. I've podcasted about Big Brother for this is now what, year 13 of podcasting about Big Brother. I'm not sure when it was ever even on Tuesday in the show.
Long time ago.
I think it was
on
like
Tuesdays at one point, right?
Like the early 2000s.
Yeah.
There was a ton. I remember when it changed. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, it's been on Wednesday every week, except for when the celebrity Big Brother of it all. But I mean, you just give me like it's been, you know, I'm a little set in my ways. Okay. Give me a minute
Rob,
to
some
get
grace.
used to the
Come
Wednesday.
on.
Yes. Okay. Jacob, you like the Zingbot?
I did like the Zingbot, but it was also the fact that you said 25 hours as well. It's not like
because it's on 1 hour later.
Yeah.
We can get that part.
Would it have been like 49? then?
So I guess it's 49 hours.
Yeah, I guess
48.
it's 49 hours.
Yeah. So whoever said 48 hours, you were wrong too.
You're
in
wrong.
Your face.
Jacob's right. Finally,
oh my god,
the flexing going on everywhere.
We're all over the place with the schedule. CBS reality. I mean, this is a first. We've never had Survivor and Amazing Race and Big Brother all having seasons on at the same time. Not to mention Buddy Games.
Yeah,
and the challenge. CBS.
It's kind of hot. Yeah. I like it.
So. Yeah, we don't even get the veto in this episode. So, look, we're hanging in there trying to figure it all out. But
do you think with the Tuesdays, it's going to be a cliffhanger every veto episode now? Because it's just like such a tight turnaround from the veto ceremony on Mondays.
Yeah, that's interesting that they could do it that way. So, I feel like that it's fine. I don't necessarily mind it. It's not like that. We don't get to find out. So, I mean, I feel like that it's, it takes up a couple seconds in the Thursday episode. So I don't mind it. I mean, the last week on Thursday, I liked what they did where we had a veto ceremony. We had the HOH competition. So if they could have a Big Brother episode like last Thursday, every Thursday, the rest of the way, that'd be great by me.
I think they just saw, well, I mean, and this isn't the first or second time they've done it. They've done it before, but I think they saw what they did last week. And this week with the storyline of everything, I think it makes even more sense to do it, especially if they want to have content for the Thursday episode. So I mean, from a personal standpoint, I would have preferred to be able to talk about the veto ceremony part of the episode, but from the story of the week standpoint, I think that it actually makes even more sense this week than last week to do a cliffhanger, especially with I mean, is Jag gonna use it, and then also the who Bowie Jane, is she gonna backdoor Cam? Is she gonna backdoor Corey? What's she gonna do? So I think that it's a little bit more cliffhangery,
right? Because this episode was set up where Bowie Jane, she did not want to do the backdoor to Cam. She didn't feel good about it. She said,
"It's a bit dirty, isn't it?"
She said it kind of sexy, eh?
Yeah, she had a certain vibe going.
Yeah,
I like it.
It's dirty, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay.
I like this. I like Bowie Jane this episode. I was a huge Bowie Jane fan this episode. I thought this was her episode. I mean, as much as a lot of other people irritated me, Joey.
Who's Joey?
There was Joey featured.
Joey.
Hey, there was Joey.
He was there. We did get a Joey side.
Yeah, but that was like a picture. How's a picture annoying?
I was so surprised. Not the picture of Joey as much as a lot of the house guests have been bothering me this episode. Bowie Jane did not bother me this episode.
Joey Bane.
Joey Bane.
It's the scramble verse.
Joey Bane.
Bane. I like Joey Bane this episode. She gave me a lot, especially in the confessionals, because a lot of times we don't see, even as features sometimes, because she doesn't talk to the camera as much. She doesn't have that mental throw up to us.
Yes.
If that's how we can call it. And it was so interesting to see what her real intentions were in the diary room. So I definitely enjoyed her.
Yeah, so
it's
we got to
Bowie
see
era coming through.
Bowie era.
This is her time.
Mhm.
Between the last episode and this one, this is her moment. So
she's her moment. Yeah.
She went lawyer mode, and
she is the moment. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have Bowie Jane having to decide what to do. We got to see a little bit, even before the Zingbot came, that Felicia was zinging Bowie Jane. She said that her grin was fake, and I was dying when she was doing an impression of Bowie Jane.
She also dropped an FBJ in the diary room.
Yeah, no, it wasn't quite. This is what she said.
Damn. Bowie Jane of all people.
There was a hesitation there, Rob, and the hesitation was the F. Okay, it was damn effing Bowie Jane.
Because when you're mad at her, she's effing Bowie Jane, but when she's doing well, she's Bowie effing Jane. It's very distinct.
You know what? Really,
look,
I know people felt like, we're picking on Bowie Jane, but it's fun to say
Bowie Jane.
It's camp. We're looking camp right in the face and saying Bowie Jane. It's what we're doing.
It was just fun to say. Felicia got the ball rolling, and we all got in on it.
It's also just a fun name. So like effing so and so, if the name is already fun and you're like, it's what I mean. And also
like
when
effing Jacob Jones.
That one sounds fun, but nice. Jacob effing Jones works.
Yeah, but that's like commanding respect. Like
that's like commanding respect.
Effing
Jones.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Rob.
Yeah. No, it's not good.
It's not. Damn. It's really not. Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Jane.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. You have to have like the 2-syllable first name and then the 1-syllable last name to make it work, I think.
All right. So Cam really needs to be picked in this veto competition. He does not get picked in this veto competition.
I like to think that this is production doing my bidding and not putting in a Cameron chip, but I'm sure they did have it in there.
I'm wondering if this is some sort of impact of Suri is finally going to
is what it is.
Suri is finally playing in a veto competition, not because of a chip, because she's literally on the block, and somehow that messed up with the universe or the whatever verse. And that meant that Cam, who is always involved in everything because he's either HOH or on the block, does not get picked. I just feel like there's something there, and it has something to do with Suri and her power. That's all I'm saying.
I'm down a cosign.
Yeah. Okay. If Suri plays in the veto, Cam can't.
Cam gets evicted.
I just wish Suri had played sooner.
Yeah. That's all we needed.
Hey, we played the house guest. They had lots of choices and nobody picked her.
That's all we needed.
All right. So we got to where, we heard something and, it's the Scramble verse. Okay. And so I thought this was kind of a weird setup for this, but the Zingbot 9000 came in and the Zingbot 9000 has hearts and says nice things.
He's toasting them.
Yes.
Yeah. I feel like if as the Zingbot was delivering his compliments, how silent the house guests were, it was just kind of it just fell flat. Even a little this is F, some wiring issues. We didn't get
from the moment Zingbot said hi winners, everyone was just like, ugh, I have the ick. This is not working for me.
I thought they were trying to say wieners, and I was like and I was very confused at first what was happening.
You're doing the job for them.
Yeah.
Because we need to be calling people wieners a lot more. I think that's an insult we got to bring back a lot more, and it would have been really funny. But apparently Zingbot is broken at first and is being nice. Although I thought this had been done before. Was this not?
I believe it was, when Zingbot was giving props.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
Because I was going to say, I feel like there's been positive Zingbot before.
Listen, it's only been the Zingbot's 14th visit to the house. We're running out of ideas.
Can we do?
Yeah. Recycle.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. But so the Zingbot came out and we had Zingbot Otev.
I hate it. I'm sorry.
You hate it?
There's so few genuinely iconic things that happen in a Big Brother season, and Zingbot and Otev are two of them. And this is 100 effing day season, and you have to combine the two iconic things into one day. Come on.
But they gave us pressure cooker, Kirsten, so we're not allowed to complain about the comps, I guess.
Yeah, they said you get what you get and you don't get upset, but it failed because I'm upset.
I agree though, because with Zingbot, you can Zingbot is not a competition, it is a theme for a competition. So you can basically jazz up something boring or unmemorable by having Zingbot be part of it. And Otev is always going to be iconic. So I just feel I actually didn't hate the combination of it because I don't know. I just felt like it was a good use of Zingbot, but I felt like that means then they wasted Otev when they could have you could have had two really, really memorable comps, and then they just mashed it into one.
And why was the Zingbot Otev so short and
He's little.
So
It's
short.
like a weird proportions.
And he's talking about Corey. Like, look in the mirror.
Right.
He was without
eye to eye.
Yeah, but to me, I didn't mind it. You know, I feel like that we'll remember the time that they did Zingbot as Otev, and you know, Zingbot is always bring me this, so it like gave an excuse for Otev to talk about the losers, the people that weren't there. So this was fine, and I think you're giving too much credit to Otevs all being iconic. Like,
no, but even when they're bad, like it could be a damn buttered roll,
Jack
and I'm
Jellyfish,
the
rock star.
That's part of it. Like, it's like, what was this? This is so stupid, and that's part of the delightfulness of it.
I do think Otev got overshadowed, but I didn't mind the iteration that Zingbot had on him.
It's fine.
My complaint though is that I thought, like, I like when the prompts to go find whatever you're finding are a little less like straightforward when you have like a riddle, like when there's like a rhyme, or like, you know, you have to combine two things. Like, some of them were a little bit more complicated where you had to like draw on like more complicated information. But like the fact that the first one was just the second and third boot, like this is so lazy.
Yeah.
I just felt like, do Zings. Like, if it's Zingbot being Otev, why isn't Zingbot also making the prompts like more of a Zing?
Fair. That's fair.
Right. That's
what
next year, please. Bring us a real Otev. Where's Rabid Raccoon that can be like foaming at the mouth on everybody?
Yeah.
Give us a real Otev. Okay. All right. Let's talk about the Zings. Right.
I actually kind of enjoyed them this year. I thought they were more insultier and less kiki laugh. I thought it was more like damn. I like the damn effect.
Well, okay, so they started and ended. They bookended with America and Corey, and they said first, okay, danger. There's a thief among us. America, you're under arrest for robbing the cradle.
A classic.
Classic with two adults in a consenting relationship. It's just so interesting how that wasn't Jeff's Zing in season 11, you know? Weird.
Yeah. Why? How old?
Jeff is 9 years older than Jordan, and America's like 5 years older than Corey. So I don't know. It's just interesting.
Was Jordan 21?
She was 22 at the time.
Oh.
There you go. Perfect.
I need to know what his Zing actually was before I co-signed.
Something about Technotronic.
I think it was about his soul patch, possibly based on
that's pretty good too.
Which like should be shamed, but like there should be room to.
I think he got that one of the seasons. Maybe it might have been BB13. All right.
What I enjoyed about America's Zing, and this is. I love when we get commentary from the other
that's the best
guests.
part. It's so good.
Because we want a little bit more context from the other players on like whether it's a good zinger or not, or whether like they're on board with the insult. And I love like Felicia being like, America's a little cougar. And she did specify that like the age difference is not that much, but Corey still lives with mom and dad, so she needs to give the cradle back. I love this like, concept that like, if you live with your parents, you're in a cradle. Like even as an adult, you're like literally in a cradle at your parents'
He's like in a Montessori bed. I liked when Corey went, I'm 22 now.
You're 22 now.
He's like, I don't know if you knew I celebrated my birthday recently. I am now 22.
Have a mustache, okay? All right. So then we got to Felicia, and the Zingbot wanted to know, what do you think brought bigger wrinkles to the game, the multiverse or Felicia? I thought this one was not even
weak.
It was weak.
Yeah, even if Felicia had wrinkles, which she doesn't. I have more wrinkles than Felicia, and I'm 30. Like, damn.
It would be crazy to say.
Yeah, but it was just like when you say, like, what has more wrinkles? Like, you saw this coming a mile away. It just, like, wasn't a good joke.
It wasn't a good joke, and it was not, like, accurate either. So it's like, if you're if you're going to like say something that's like, oh, that's such the obvious joke to make, like kind of a lazy joke, like it's sitting right there, that's one thing. If you're gonna do that, but then it's also just like you're not paying any attention because this woman for her age actually looks fantastic and doesn't have wrinkles. Like her skin is, and then you get the commentary from the other people in the house all being like, no, she doesn't. So this was by far, I think, the worst.
Also,
thing.
Is the Big Brother multiverse that much of a wrinkle? Honestly,
definitely not.
Honestly,
They
it was
would like
kind
to
of
think
the flop
so.
of that joke.
Honestly,
That's
it was
the
kind
flop
of a
that
cell
joke.
phone because really, the Big Brother multiverse is such not a wrinkle that actually, yes, Felicia is more wrinkled than the
By
kiss
default.
of the multiverse.
Yeah.
Like they could have talked about the
It's
mic
straight.
packs. They could talk about her like ordering food.
I mean,
like,
she's
They could talk about the
constantly-
gas.
She's
Yes.
gassy.
Yeah, they could
she
talk about
sings in her
pooping the
sleep.
bed,
Yeah.
She is a like content machine.
Yeah.
Like she has been giving us so much the entire season, and you went for the laziest, like, haha, you're old joke. Like
Mhm.
it was it's confusing to me how they can have like some really funny, well thought out ones. They can write a whole ass song and then they do this. It's like, what was this for? Like, give me 5 minutes. I will come up with something
Yeah.
better. I
punch 'em
assure
up.
you.
especially with Felicia. She
All
can
right.
do that much.
Then we got to Jag, and they said, Jag, your gameplay reminds me of a sports car, not a Jaguar, more like a Borvette, Aston Moron, and a Lamborghini. I feel like they could have just stopped at a Borvette. I feel like that was probably the best one.
I feel like the first 2 iterations were good. The Lamborghini was that was like, all right, we tugging at it now. But I thought I was in my living room cracking up because these are jokes that like are so stupid.
Yeah,
they're stupid jokes, and it's like, wow, if I could have came up with something, I wouldn't have even came up with that. Like that's how like it goes into this weird thing.
I like that he was like,
should've-
I got. Sorry, I was just saying, like he was like, I got 3, but it was like it was kind of the same
Kinda
joke.
one.
Like
Yeah.
it was actually just really one. But they wanted to flex that, like, oh, I came up with more than one car pun. Like you gotta ring it all out. You gotta get it all out there.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, him saying that's 3 kind of makes the point for them with the Aston Moron, you know.
But he can count, so he would probably have won the tiebreaker.
Okay.
You're right.
Then Blue got up, kitty purr, boots down, slay. The only thing worse than your catchphrases is your fashion sense.
That was weak as well. That was horrible.
Mm-hmm.
And we know that she even planned these outfits to post on. So,
I mean,
this was.
Yeah.
I mean, tell me that the people writing these jokes were boomers without telling me they're boomers. Like they just don't understand her fashion because she's young.
I mean, it was half correct that like her catchphrases and stuff she says in the DR is so cringe and very annoying. I feel like a lot of people are on board with that. But I don't know. I just felt like it flopped in the second half. It was like there were better things you could have done. And I was kind of surprised because like I felt like on Twitter a lot of people were like, "Oh my god, they got Blue's ass," and I was like, "No, they didn't. Like it wasn't really that good of a zing." Like I think that there were way worse things said about people, is what I will say, than what they said about Blue. Okay.
Okay. All right. Then we got to Bowie Jane. And we got to what's the difference between Bowie Jane and a great white shark. One is an Australian with big scary teeth, and the other is a shark.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
I knew this was coming, and I still was not prepared for it. Like we saw the shots of like Felicia and Suri looking down, like also probably knowing, like being like, oh. I've said some stuff. And like where did they get this material from? like you know that it makes people uncomfortable when you're watching the reactions of other people. Like they're not laughing, they're like, oh no,
they're horrified.
That's what we saw here.
Yeah, these are jokes you can't laugh at within someone's face that they're being told at. This is ludicrous.
Yeah. I feel like they could have also added that often you don't see the great white shark often. It's very under the water.
I mean,
I liked see it.
I liked after when Zingbot goes, don't get me started on the pigtails zing. It's like, well, just do a zing about the damn pigtails then. Like,
I felt like they tried to line it up. I feel like they tried to line it up after that dagger. And if I was Bowie Jane, I only would have reacted probably like,
yeah.
Well, I would have cried. I would have
laughed. I would have self-evicted.
Yeah. Did we get a response from Bowie in the diary room after that? Because I kind of feel like that when they don't address it, then I feel like then it they didn't like it.
She was like, I'm not talking to you anymore.
We're done. Yeah. Okay.
Chop.
I just think that like there were a lot of other ways that could have been for it. Actually surprised me that they went there because they do go hard sometimes. I feel like they don't usually go on like physical stuff.
It's
that
rare.
much.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is wild to me.
Yeah. How about freaking Jag coming out of nowhere? Also, he's like, when I see Bowie Jane, all I see is her teeth coming at me.
Well, Jag is sitting here and he just wants to, he's like, yes, I'm getting attention. He was probably the only one willing to speak on it.
Yeah. Imagine just being in the DR and be like, do you have anything to say about the zing about Bowie's teeth? Everyone's like, absolutely not. Like, please do not.
I'm not touching it. I'm not touching it.
Jag's like, okay, you got me.
Why not?
Okay. And then we got the Mimi zing about how that basically that Zingbot was in a me coma and then said, oh wait, I forgot you got evicted. I think this was an all-timer in that an evicted player got
a zing.
Yeah. That is a first time.
If Mimi was there, you'd say, it's fine.
And Mimi had her first like return to Twitter to comment on getting zinged, and
he's been on Twitter all season.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, but like her with a new tweet from the year 2023,
which is more time to come back.
Yeah,
but
and she didn't mind it, right? She said
it was
the Zingbot ate her up. Yeah.
Okay, I love it.
Yeah, because like you go from like the joke being that you weren't like memorable or noticeable to being like, we have to comment on it, and now you are no longer in the house, and we had a part about you. That's funny. My only gripe about this is, and I just wish I didn't know about it beforehand, because I think the shock value of like, wait, what's happening? Why did he say Nicole? Like that would have been so good without knowing beforehand.
I'm surprised they didn't bring her back in. They don't like people going home this season.
You know, I wonder if they recorded all the zings last week, and that's why Felicia's was really weak, and that they thought Felicia was going home, and they thought
we'll just
we'll do it last.
And they're like, quick, get us a Felicia zing. We need one in 5 minutes.
I think that they just thought that their Mimi one was so good that they're like, we can't
throw it out.
And then they're like, what if we add the little twist of like, oh, sorry, I actually just didn't even notice you were already gone, and like that was the reason to keep it. They were just so proud and had to use it.
And like, for what? You know, like it was fine, but
it would have been a mid zing if she were still in the house, but I think given the context, then it actually made it funny. So maybe that was the decision behind using it.
You just know that they were so proud of it, and it's like
they were.
Well, but like you only have to be proud now that she's gone, and you can like make history here.
Okay.
Could have taken like 5 more minutes for Felicia. No, like we couldn't have done that. No, okay.
So we got a Matt zing. Matt, I see
not a Matt
hit it
zing.
Off. Yeah, I see why you hit it off with a cardboard cutout. You had similar intelligence. It was a dumb blonde zing. Zingbot said for Matt. And this was,
this was poor. I feel like we get so many dumb blonde moments, not only in TV but on Big Brother. And so, how many times can we really run that trope into the ground?
I think even just saying like you have the same personality as a cardboard cutout is much more cutting and funnier than to be like, oh yeah, you're dumb because you.
I mean, Josh Duhamel does have a great personality though, Kirsten.
He does.
Well, but his cardboard cutout doesn't have a personality at all.
It's a vibe. It's still a vibe. Have you seen some of the pictures from Twitter? Come on.
Yeah,
everyone, still having fun.
Honestly, I would take the Josh Duhamel.
I have not seen the photos from Twitter.
Personality.
Oh my god, they've been sending them to fans.
Like what? Whoa, the
not me though.
Cardboard. Oh.
Not Rob and I.
There is Jenny's Josh Duhamel cardboard cutout.
Yeah.
He could be right here.
We podcast about buddy games. Right.
Nothing CBS.
Yeah, Maximus' mom might take offense. Yeah.
I mean,
Maximus' mom is giving personality to the cardboard cutout.
Exactly. Maximus' mom's Josh Duhamel cardboard cutout has the personality that she gives it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right.
But I just felt like, again, this was kind of lazy for Matt. But I think
what were they going to say?
I know. They're like, oh, what have we shown about Matt? Oh, remember when he had the Josh Duhamel cardboard cutout? Yeah. Like, let's do something with that.
Remember when he told Riley he had a crush on her and she was like, thank you?
Has the shrine been on the
I don't think so.
Proper, like the Q-tip
I don't
shrine
think so.
he made?
I don't think so.
Like, I feel like you could have done something with that, maybe.
I was about to say, and I feel like we get that type of narrative or jokingly when Zingbot comes, when we have people in the house that kind of make the shrines for people, X, Y, and Z. But with Matt, we didn't get it. We got done blonde.
Yeah.
But it speaks to the fact that like everyone underestimates Matt, which like, you know, for his game is actually incredible because a lot of people really do think he's dumb.
Yeah. I think Tyler also got like a dumb zing from the Zingbot.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. No, that's
All
good.
Stars? Was it All Stars?
Helping the game of these people.
Yeah,
like,
I feel like it was.
Yeah, and the fact that like even Jag in the DR is like, yeah, good thing he can swim. Like, Jag, do you not realize that he's smarter than you?
Yeah.
Like,
he doesn't, and that's I mean, as long as he figures that out eventually.
Okay. Then also we got one about Suri, and they said, Suri, the past few weeks have been hard on you. A lot of your friends left, and they left you alone, allowing you to do what you do best, lose on an island.
Hold me back.
I loved it. I loved it.
You can't talk to Suri that way. I'll fight you.
Her response, Zingbot. It was amazing.
I thought it was a great thing. Like it's very clever. It's, you know, and I think it hurts less knowing that Suri doesn't always. Well, she on islands, yes, she does.
Not on Snake in the Grass.
In houses. And that maybe that will, you know, bode well for here. She's still in a house. Technically, it's just a fake house in a studio. But
I mean, another thing that could be also helping her game on top of her skills for them to be Suri's losing. Even production said so.
Yeah. Her game is dead, so don't see her as a threat.
Lone Ranger called out. Then she said F Zingbot.
Which I loved.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was really what sold it. Like all the reactions from the diary room on this, like this was like the really fun part. It's just like when you see the jokes on paper, like it doesn't really come across, but everybody's reactions and the Zingbot delivery was pretty good. All right, then we got to Cameron, and so the Zingbot said that he got a promotion from a lieutenant in the army to
Major Tool.
What? And this may just be my naiveness. I don't know, but I don't have a locked in word for that part.
Okay. All right. Let's see.
Major Tool.
Major Tool.
Yeah.
I feel like tool's an insult on itself.
Yeah. What do you think? But what do you think it might be?
D-bag,
Major D-bag tool. What do you think, Jenny?
I don't think you can say D-bag on TV, can you?
I think you can say D-bag.
Oh, okay.
I don't think you can say. I think maybe you can't say douchebag.
Oh, okay.
But you could probably say D-bag.
Okay. I want to hear Jacob's second guess then.
Blank tool.
Yeah.
Can you sound it again?
Okay.
Tool.
Oh, Major effing Tool. Okay,
I think that's what they said.
It's Bowie Jane's name.
I thought it was like bastard, or I don't know. I didn't know where they were going because I was like, okay, but now I know why because I was like, Tool, effing Tool is what they were saying. I thought they put an insult on top of an insult and made a double insult, not just like a adjective to.
But okay,
or whatever.
The best part of this, though, Kirsten, they went to the diary room and everybody's like, "Oh yeah, no, that's true. That actually, no, he really is." Yeah.
We've been saying it. We've been out here for weeks saying this, and now production's also endorsing it.
And all of the crap bookers are like, "No, Cam for AFP. Oh, he's the best player ever." And then you have literally every person in the game doing a DR saying that they agree that he's a major effing tool.
Nobody would speak on the physical joke about Bowie Jane, but everybody was willing to speak
let me get in on that.
Cameron being a tool.
Major effing Tool. Okay.
I feel like this has probably been discussed. Maybe a stupid question, which I specialize in. When Zingbot swears, in real time, do the house guests hear the swear, or are the sound effects there in real time?
No, I think that they hear the swear. I was watching this with my son, and he asked the same question. And I think because their reaction is always like, "Whoa!"
Yeah.
I didn't know Zingbot cusses. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
too,
they love they love to have the Zingbot cursing, and that they get the reaction. They always go nuts.
I would be disappointed if they were just using the in real time, and then they have to please let Zingbot swear. Okay, everyone here is of age.
They
even
get the
Corey.
uncensored. Yeah. Okay. All right. And then we had, I think, what will be the one that we remember forever from the Zingbot tonight. We got the America the Beautiful song. I'd love to go and listen to it. It's a little long, so here we go.
Corey's not beautiful under any skies, short like a piece of grain. A thin mustache, if you call it that, it causes my eyes pain. America, did you have a lobotomy? He's a tiny man, can't kiss worth a damn. Let's throw him in the sea.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I was crying. I really was. This jazz broke me.
I'm Canadian, but this made me patriotic.
Jenny, you should have taken your hat off. Okay.
Sorry, I know.
Some respect.
Hand on my heart. I should have taken my hat off.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jenny.
This was beautiful. This was they put effort into this one.
They threw everything. They threw everything in there.
They said,
unloaded.
"Get him."
They unloaded.
They said, "Get his ass."
Yeah. Corey said it was the best day of his life, so he was happy. Ultimately, they really pulled out all the stops.
Well, and Corey said it best, right? Personally, he is destroyed, but he just got a full-length song as a zing. This is iconic for a super fan.
Yeah,
and then he got America to kiss after the zing was said.
Yeah, so. She said he's a good kisser
now. Yeah, and that's often how it works. Is you have to figure out each other's style. So
practice
you don't always know it right off the So I believe America. Sure. Is this the first time that Zingbot has suggested potential death for the house?
Let's throw him in the sea.
Throw him into the sea. Are they putting water wings on him? What's happening when they throw him into the sea?
It's just when someone throws you in the pool. It's just a little prank.
Is it sweet and nice? Because I felt like it was a little bit dark.
I feel
it's funny, but
I feel like the lobotomy line was the darkest one.
Same.
America, did you have a lobotomy? Excuse me?
Yeah.
but also the funniest line.
Yeah.
So it's like,
yeah. I mean,
I really think that's why they said like throw him in the sea because it rhymed with American.
Lobotomy.
I mean, they also said that he's not beautiful under any sky. He's as short as a piece of grain. Like there was a few.
Well, and again, the OTEV Zingbot was a short king compared to normal Zingbot. So I don't think that one short on short crime shouldn't be happening here.
But that's Kirsten, we know this is what happens is people are nitpicking what they hate about themselves.
Yes.
Zingbot is projecting his insecurities about his shortness and is like, hey, you know who else is short? Corey. I'm gonna talk shit about him and that'll make me feel better. So you know what?
That's really
I hope you feel better,
Jenny.
Zingbot.
Yeah. It's like, don't look at me and how short I am. Look at how short Corey is.
Look at this little grain boy.
Grain boy.
Yeah, he was a piece of grain.
So I asked our own Zingbot, ChatGPT, to come up with some zings. I asked them that dear ChatGPT, do you have any zings for Rob Cesternino from Rob Has a Podcast?
Let's go.
Please.
Okay.
Let's get it.
Yeah, and really that it'll make you appreciate the zings for the Big Brother house guests. But here's the best of the bunch. Okay. Zing GPT said, Rob, you always say keep hope alive, especially when you're hoping for a podcast under 2 hours. Zing.
That was cute. Cute.
I don't
really
keep hope
say
alive.
I really don't often say that.
Well, no.
All right, never mind. Sorry, Rob's always saying that on the podcast. Everyone, I'm really accurate.
All right, do we have anybody else that we want to get a Zing GPT for?
I mean, Zing GPT won't know who I am. So.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm. Let's see.
Can we get it? I was about to say Julie Chen.
Yeah. Okay.
Ooh,
I actually asked Zing GPT, do you have one for Taron Armstrong?
Are we gonna get the one about the basketball player?
Yeah. Zing GPT said, "Hey Taron, I tried to tune into one of your live feed updates, but by the time it was over, a whole new season of Big Brother had started." Zing.
Got it.
GPT really loves like the podcast length jokes. Like that seems to be what they're working with. But you know what?
Yeah,
you know that's
okay. But Julie Chen Moonves, this is a good one.
Yeah, we need to get that.
Okay. All right. The Zing GPT said, Julie, every week you say expect the unexpected, like anyone expecting you to change your catchphrase. Zing.
I wish they could have done. I mean, yeah, granted, but I was even coming up with things about the Bob. We could have got a zing about the Bob. We could have got so many things about Julie.
In Julie's defense, she was trying to change up her catchphrases the one season where she was like coming up with like the different inspirational biblical things at the end, and then she just kind of defaulted back to love one another, and then it just became love one another. So she tried it just didn't work for her.
Try. You're right on that. It never caught on.
Okay, all right, so let's talk about the actual comp that we got to here on the very, very extended. We really made a meal out of OTEV. And really, like you're hoping that there's like a fall or like some close ones, but really, I mean, there wasn't a ton of drama here in the OTEV competition.
And I think to what Jenny was saying earlier about even the questions, like this competition, these easy questions for them people to run, it kind of took the fun out of it as well, like solving the riddle, solving all that. So I was disappointed in it.
Yeah,
it's just another way they make it more physical.
Yes, exactly. Because I think it was Jag that said like this is a mental and physical competition, and I was like, well, it really just ended up being mostly a physical and like a little bit of luck of like finding the right photos fast enough. But like I really would have loved for there to be just elaborate a little bit more with the prompts, make the questions harder. Because like they've had OTEVs where it's like, you know, you have to combine two different things. Like it's like a combination of two house guests and they have like different names or whatever. Like I just felt, again, it was lazily put together. Like it was just pictures of the house guests. Like it just felt half-baked to me.
Yeah, and I think Jeg was the only one playing with the strategy of stacking up a pile of names, which is absolutely wild when you consider that like America's a super fan and like you'd think that maybe people would take cues from what Jeg was doing and try to do it too, but that's the goated strategy for OTEV.
Well, and apparently Cam gave Jeg this as idea. Like so, and it's like a revolutionary thing that no one has ever done before.
Well, Cam thought of it, of course, for the first time ever, obviously.
Of everything.
Yeah. So in the first round, they had to come up with the second and third people evicted from the game, which ended up being Riley and Heisem, and Suri ends up being the first person out. She brought up Kirsten's picture and then had to go back and change it and felt a little bad for Suri. She's like, oh, I'm never going to be good at one of these games. It's like, you're Suri. You're good at all the games.
You're good at it. She doesn't need good at the game that matters.
You're good at everything else.
Yeah. These dumb, stupid carnival games, they don't mean shit.
Yeah, I just want one game that I don't look like an idiot. Like, don't say that.
Oh my god! I don't think anybody in the history of ever has thought Suri Fields is an idiot. And I'll fight them if they do.
Yeah. All right. Then we have to find the person who finished last in the kicking butt comp, which that one did turn out to be Kirsten. Something happened to America that I've never seen before on OTEV. She dropped her piece down the waterfall.
This would happen to me, like 100%.
Yeah.
I'm a clumsy little lady. Like I would drop that for sure.
I not only would drop the card, but I'd be having like a Meg Melee type like face plant at trying to catch it. Like I empathize with her completely.
I feel like one of the main strategies that's not often looked is how to hold the piece that you have when you go up that thing.
Oh, interesting.
You know what I mean? And so I feel like either mouth.
Yeah, mouth is what I do.
Like mouth is, or stuff it in your pants.
Yeah, a bra situation.
A bra, like you
but they're kind of big, like and pointy.
Yeah,
pointy end of the game.
Well, you know, I can have that. I can have that on me for at least 10, 5, 6, 4 seconds as I go up. You know what I mean? And so I feel like those are all. I don't know how big it is. I'm imagining, but those are all steps that people need to start thinking about when they do get a piece to see how to bring it up. Because you have the piece. What do you do with it now?
Yeah,
you have to,
because I wouldn't be able to one arm pull myself up on that
Absolutely
rope.
not.
So I think I'm probably putting it in my mouth.
Me too.
Or my pants, I guess. I don't know. Think of what the ideas here.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Think about it. Think about it.
Okay.
Front end or back end? Like, what's safer, do you think?
Oh, I think the back.
Well, my
back? See, I would worry that my butt would toss it out.
I have more room in the back. So
I don't.
It's your mileage may vary. You have to do what's right for you.
Yeah,
you have to figure it out based on what works for
user's choice.
And also if any future Big Brother players are listening to this podcast right now for the OTEV strategy, if your bra has an underwire, you could probably just wedge it right under the underwire and not actually try to stick it in the cup. Climb right up, you'd be fine.
Oh,
Kristen, you will not catch me dead wearing an underwire bra doing OTEV.
Well, some people can't go without, okay?
I would say just for now, I'll wear the most compression sports bra. I'm not wearing an effing underwire.
Well, there are sports bras with underwires in them, and they're the best ones. Oh my god. We're strayed so far from the path. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Stick it where it fits and make it work.
This will be an off-season podcast. Underwire or no?
Underwire or no?
The best bras for each Big Brother competition.
I'm there. It's the sequel to Win Loser Bra. I will make
the bra.
Okay. All right. Then we had who got out in the piggy costume. That was Izzy, Felicia, ultimately goes out. Good run for Felicia.
Excellent run for Felicia. I was proud of her. I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
She did what nobody thought that she could do, and I love that for her.
She hangs around in these competitions. Like, remember the one with from Buddy Games where and she was like spinning around in the chair until she ultimately like passed out. Like, she was in there for a little bit.
Yeah, but people talk about her as if like she's a total non-entity and could never do it, and it's not okay because she could.
It's wild because that like part of the big argument from like that got rid of Mimi was like Mimi could beat us in a competition, but Felicia can't. And like she's hanging in there in a lot of these comps and has literally won HOH and then literally almost won this HOH. So it's like you need to Bowie Jane said it herself, you need to stop underestimating her. Like this is
and also it annoys me when people do use that in conversation, like, oh, that person could win over that person. Like, everyone has the probability of winning this competition, and Mimi hasn't even won a competition when Felicia did win a competition. I don't know, it's a little,
she almost won another one.
She almost won another one, and so that argument oftentimes is like has no legs.
Get out of here.
Yeah,
it's not based in evidence.
All right, then we had to talk about who was out first in the pressure cooker. It was Jared, and Matt ends up losing on this round, setting up the final showdown between Jag and Bowie Jane, and who got 8 votes. It was Red and Izzy. Jag gets it, and Jag wins the power of Veto. And I thought that then, what do you think about Suri Zingbot in the diary room talking about Jag having the power of Veto?
My life is in the hands of a lame Burkini right now. A moron.
They made her say that.
The laugh sent me.
She says, my game is in the hands of a lame Burkini, a moron, and she's like cracking herself up.
I couldn't decide if she was like thinking this is sincerely funny or she's laughing at the fact that she has to like do the Fed line that Zingbot came up with.
It's literally like the show is so unserious.
No, I think she was genuinely tickled to call him a moron.
Lamborghini.
She was slapping a knee in there, you think?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. I mean, I think that Suri sees the comedy in a lot of things. So I think that she thought it was very funny to say that. I like to see that side of Suri because Suri can be a zinger too.
Yeah.
She's funny.
And I feel like most of the time, especially not so much at the beginning of the season, but more so now on the live feeds, we see that zingier side of her. We see,
she's got a little bit of an edge now.
Yeah, a little bit of an edge.
She's like, I'm over
That's
this.
what it is. I'm done. I think that's what it is. That's making her have it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So earlier in the episode, there was a point where Bowie Jane, she did not want to put Cam up on the block. She said,
"It's a bit dirty, isn't it?
A bit dirty, isn't it?" So Jag needed to dig up some dirt, and there was a point where then Cam was saying, "Hey, I'm starting to believe what Mimi had to say. I'm a little suspicious of Bowie Jane. Jag snitched." And now Bowie had the info to basically put Cam up on the block. So we ended up seeing a conversation with Bowie Jane and Cam. And he's pitching, hey, put up Corey. She's like, there's no good options. He's like, this is a good one. She's like, yeah, I just can't figure out what to do.
What's wild actually is that Cameron saying that he believes Nicole is the first time that he has taken someone else's perspective and thought it might be true this whole season.
That's fair. Yeah. Yeah. He also says to Bowie, I kept you safe. I would never do this to you.
Like he wouldn't. And I don't think he would, but I also don't. Earlier, also, Cam was saying when him and Bowie were having that conversation, Cam was saying, why won't you do it? I'm like, you are also the same person that had it in your power to do it last week and didn't. And why isn't anyone bringing this argument to the surface? Like, you were just in power last week and you're asking me why I didn't take out your target just because I affirmed who you thought was your target.
And she's repeatedly like saying, not just to Cameron, but like also to Jag and Matt earlier, well, to everyone, basically being like, I don't really want to be getting a bunch of blood on my hands. Like, I don't want to be, these are the targets that make the most sense for me. And I think leaving the nominations the same as I have set them is what makes the most sense for me. Like, repeatedly telling you what her goal is for her HOH. And the difference is like the finesse between Cam and Jag and Matt. Like, Cam has no ability to finesse anything to go his way with Bowie. Like, it was just really, really difficult to see him just completely, not take any account for what she wants for her HOH and be like, well, or you could just do the thing that doesn't really benefit you directly, but benefits me. And I'm telling you that. And it's just wild that he's like, I kept you safe when... What? How?
Well, and Bowie has the perfect response. She says, I was never in danger because he wasn't. So suck it, Cameron.
So I'm going to get out your biggest target, who probably won't put me on the block if they're here next week. Like, that's what I'm going to do with my HOH. No, I didn't even want to win this HOH. I'm trying to get out of this with as little blood on my hands as possible. And you are pushing your agenda. So obvious.
And you were HOH 3 times, Cam. You could have gotten out whoever you wanted. You got out Meet Cole last week.
And it's not like Corey is this newfound threat to Cam. Like, this has been an ongoing week after week, and sometimes it's dialed back, sometimes it's turned up even more. But homie had the right intentions when he wanted to do it last week, but did it.
Yeah. Okay.
Literally.
All right. So we got a cliffhanger. Yes, Jenny?
I was just gonna say, like, why not, if you're Bowie, just say, like, hey, you've and this depends on where she's at in the week and how she's feeling about things, but like, why not just say to him, like, you know what, you've won HOH basically every time that you've been able to. Sounds like a great plan for you next week. It's not great for my game. Why don't you do that next week? Doesn't that sound good for you?
Yep. Okay,
you can beat him. Like, do it.
We leave it at that, and we get a cliffhanger going into Thursdays. In 2 days from now, we will find out what's going on. But we will talk about what is happening in the spoiler section. Is there anything else from the actual episode proper that anybody wants to highlight? Okay. Otherwise, yeah, fun stuff with the Zingbot. And let's go ahead and talk about the spoilers.
The Office of Civil Defense has issued the following message. This is
a spoiler.
Warning.
A spoiler.
Warning means that an actual
spoiler
against this country has been detected and that protective action should be taken.
Yeah, all right. Let's talk about spoilers. Okay. Kirsten, what happened at the veto ceremony?
Well, Alicia has been taken off the block and
God.
Cameron is nominated.
Wow.
Finally. They did a cliffhanger just so I couldn't see him get nominated on TV. That was what I'm on the recap. It's a personal
It was kind of
attack.
rude of them to do that to you. You've been waiting so long and so patiently.
I've been so patient. I've been such a good girl, and they still wouldn't do it for me.
I've been a good girl. Yeah.
Do you think that was the reason that they didn't? That was a bit. Do you think that was the reason that they didn't include it? Obviously, oh my God, time
so people would tune in on Thursday to see it.
So, but also it would have been a complete. Well, as you know, it's been talking about, because Bowie was like, no, I don't want to do it. I don't want to nominate Corey. I don't want to nominate Cam. Like, taking that out of her mind and kind of at the beginning of the episode, solidifying on Suri and Felicia, and then go into having this weird conversation with Cam and then nominating Cam. I mean, it kind of flowed, but I feel like that would be a complete, like, in the same episode a little bit to give people a little, like, whiplash in a sense.
Yeah, if they had done a little bit of a better job on the Sunday episode to build things up, maybe they wouldn't have needed to do the cliffhanger here. But I also just think that like, they're gonna want the casuals to tune in on Thursday to know what's happening. And again, like, it's a really short turnaround between the ceremony and this episode, and more game happened before the veto than after.
I also feel like they could have done, if they really wanted to have this cliffhanger, they could have done a little bit more with the edit to make it truly like a question of, if Jag uses the veto, will Bowie, and she's forced to have to like backdoor someone, is it going to be Cameron? Or does she potentially take a shot at Corey? Because I felt like that part of the conversation like got like abandoned very early, even though it was not a consideration. But like the casual audience doesn't necessarily know that. So it's like, if you really want, it's not a cliffhanger for anyone who's been paying attention to the feeds. We all know what happened as of Monday. But I just felt like they could have taken, because they're already putting clips out of order. Like a lot of the stuff early in the episode tonight, I think was post veto. So like Jag talking to Cam, and he's saying all this stuff about like maybe Bowie's actually working with Corey. Like I'm pretty sure that happened after Jag had already won the veto. So it's like you're already kind of being funny with the way you're editing it. Like, why not throw a little bit more intrigue on like maybe she'll actually consider also backdooring Corey? And I felt like the way that the episode ended, it's more like, will Jag use the veto? And then if he uses it, will she backdoor Cameron? When I felt like there was like a chance to make it even a little bit more intriguing for the casual audience.
Yeah. Well, look, we could still get some of that in the Thursday episode because, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think that we have like such compelling campaigning going on over these next couple of days, right? I mean, I think that we could spend, even if we like get into the veto ceremony like 10 minutes into the episode, there's not so much that's happening in terms of like the campaign that we need to see, right?
Correct.
Well, and Cam is so bad at it. Like he just doesn't know how to appeal to people's incentives. He will just outright insult them. Like when he's trying to campaign to Blue and he's just like, yeah, you're a sinking ship. Okay, thanks for that. Like that's going to make Blue feel really good and want to keep you.
I mean, there will be some stuff about him, trying to sell out Matt and Jag that they can probably use in the episode, but it's hard to say. I mean, there's been many conversations with Cam and America that they could be using, but they don't seem to show any of that. I don't know why.
I wonder.
Yeah.
Just so weird.
I don't know. Just
there was also some conversation about Suri wanting to be the person who gets left on the block. Do we think that we'll see any of that on Thursday?
I feel like we won't. Because it was like a moment on Feeds of Conversation, and it happened, and it made Jag and Matt like, hey, Suri trusts us that much that she's able to stay on the block for us. But I don't feel like it was that much of a staple. But if they're scratching for things, why not?
Yeah. Has anybody this week even like had the thought of like, boy, Suri is on the block. She's very good at these games. Should we take this shot at Suri?
I don't think yet.
No.
Yeah, because I don't think there's been any serious consideration.
Yeah. Because I feel like the show will try to be like, well, Cameron has won the HOH 3 times, but will the house guests consider getting out a Survivor legend? But if nobody's even said that sentence out loud, and it'll be really hard to make anything out of this vote going into Thursday.
Oh, sorry, go Jake.
Oh, and when looking at the people that would say that, I feel like it would be Corey, it would be America, and I feel like they have a Cam get out of this house immediately in front of them rather than the Survivor legend Suri that's also there.
But that being said, I still have to get into the scramble verse that is Big Brother on a Tuesday because, normally we do this podcast Wednesday night. It's like, okay, it's a foregone conclusion. We know what the vote is going to be. We still have to have Waffle Wednesday. Not that I think this
48,
is going to
49
change,
hours. Yeah.
But this house is like a Wednesday. There have been multiple times this season. Something is locked in on Tuesday only to get discussed a ton on Wednesday. And
but a lot of
back to where they started.
Yeah, but a lot of the time that discussion is driven by Suri and her allies, and they're obviously not going to be driving it this week when they want to keep her in the house. And it's just like the threat of Cameron winning HOH again next week is just too juicy of a target.
And also, this whole house has seen Cameron like just be the worst ally possible at all times. Like he does not have anyone's best interest at heart and it's just bad. But so like what are they doing
and every single one of them think he's a major effing tool.
Major effing tool. Okay, devil's advocate though. Like let's just say you're Corey, okay? And not even saying that you had the votes to do it. But you leave Cam in the house. Cam wins HOH on Thursday. What are his nominations?
Corey in America or Matt and Jag.
Not the worst situation.
I'm not
if
certain
you're Corey.
Though. I don't think
gotta break those guys up at some point.
Yeah, but he's a loose cannon. Like what? No one can ever feel safe about what Cameron. Nobody. Like you can't be certain that he's going to put up Jag and Matt. Like.
Yeah, and he will lie. Like he's lied several times about who he's gonna nominate, and then he nominates someone else and has a different like he's just such a loose cannon that you don't know what he's gonna do, but you can have but you can have faith that he'll win those competitions, right? So even if they're super concerned about Suri as a legend, they're not concerned about her.
I'm just saying, okay, you took Suri off the board, who I think is super dangerous. And then instead of like an alliance that's 2 comp beasts, you could maybe just like, okay, well, now you still have Cam. That's a comp beast that you have to worry about. But at least the alliance of 2 comp beasts is broken up.
True.
I'm just saying I could see somebody considering.
Well, I mean, which is why Cameron's best move last week would have been to backdoor one of either Matt or Jag and not stay loyal to them. But he did not think in that way. But I also just like Rob, like we need to like sage the podcast studio. Like I'm really upset with you for putting this into the universe. And if anything goes wrong tomorrow, I'm holding you personally accountable.
Yeah,
I'll own that. I'll own that.
It's one thing to entertain the idea of Cameron somehow surviving once again, but to entertain that idea when he is on the block against Suri is just downright evil.
Look, but I think I would be doing a disservice to the listeners to not talk about some of these scenarios, because I think that you have like 48 hours still to go, and it's a scenario where I think it does make some sense for some of the players that are in the game, because
also
to
flirt with the idea even more, Rob.
Oh my God.
I don't think that Cam can accurately paint that picture, because I think he's horribly socially. I think it will take the house guests coming to this conclusion on their own.
Right.
And I think an extra amount of time for Cameron to be in that house is only extra amount of time for him to dig that.
I mean, could it just be kind of like, a Godfrey situation where it's like, okay, we know what he's doing. We know who he's going for, like let's.
But they don't. That's
they don't know who's going for Matt and Jag.
Insulting to compare him to God. Like, Rob, you're on one tonight, and I'm telling Shannon. I'm telling everyone.
Tell everybody.
Like, this is so messed up.
This is why I think that it in a lot of on paper and a lot of
keep
other scenarios.
Everybody's like, no, you have to get rid of Heisem.
You're right about that, and you should have said that. But this,
I did say that.
Well, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. You were right, and you were right to say that.
Yeah.
But the thing with Cameron is okay. So there's a few different things here. He is likely to win almost every comp that he plays in. In fact, he usually does. When you're down to this few people, that is a problem. So you might think, okay, well, he's terrible socially. So, yes, he can beat me in a lot of comps, but maybe if I end up in the final 2 next to him, clearly people don't like or respect this man. Maybe this isn't the worst path for me. Okay, reasonable argument here. The problem is that not one of these people can trust this man. So they cannot even, if he was at least trustworthy and reliable to any ally, a single person, then there could be someone who could have an argument of keeping him around, having him be the lightning rod in front of them, winning comps and not taking them out. And if they end up in the final 2 with them, they will win because they are more liked than them. But the problem is that none of these people feel comfortable with this man, and that he is going to protect them, that he is going to do there's no predictability or trust with any of them. So that is where he loses any chances with any of these people.
That all makes sense. Those are all reasons why they would not do it. I'm just looking at the whiteboard here of like
they've spent 70 days with him. You think they want to spend 30 more days?
Look, a lot of them are going to be in the jury house with him.
Yeah.
I mean, but they're praying not to go to the jury. Like they're banking on trying not to go to the jury house too soon.
Yeah.
You know,
they're all assuming that they won't. Which is the right mindset to have. You should not be planning to go to the jury house.
And personally, I think that Cirie is the danger, not Cam. I mean, you're sleeping on
that's how
like
she.
That's what they're. So I'm looking at it as like an objective person of like, hey, you keep Cam, he's going to go after Matt and Jag, which you need to break up anyway, and you're all sleeping on Cirie, the one of the all-time greatest of all time, and you're forgetting about her, and you're treating her like a nobody that you're going to bring down into the end game. And don't be surprised if she sneaks up on you, and you say, "Boy, we should have gotten rid of Cirie. What were we thinking?"
And you know what they're going to say to that, Rob?
What?
They're going to say, well, Zingbot did say she was on an island by herself. So, I mean,
yeah,
let's keep her.
Yeah.
Well, and they're also going to think she never gets to play in comps. And then when she does, she's the first out. And like Cam is winning everything.
That being said, and we were talking about this on the podcast the other night, I don't even know how it would be possible to execute such a move, because even if Corey and America were on board, they will need a third vote to join them. I don't know, unless Blue is really feeling like, hey, Cam is my guy more so than Cirie. Hard to see where a third vote comes from, forcing it to a Bowie Jane tiebreak.
People were lumping Blue and Cameron together, and he can't even like make an ally out of her. Like he's hopeless. Like the only thing at this point that I think is saving Cam's game is like Alison Grodner and her powers, and some sort of verse type twist. Which
I don't think that's happening
at this point. No, but I'm just saying, like, I actually think that is probably more likely than people deciding to vote out Cirie in this spot.
Okay,
especially since they all have already voted out Cameron, right? like just get him out of there.
They did want him out, and that's the difference because people will compare Jag being voted out and Cameron being voted out, but the difference is that like. Not just that Cameron left the house, even if it was only momentarily, but people knew that Jag was not going home. Like there were people that knew about that twist and that Jag. So him being voted out unanimously didn't matter because there were people that knew that he was not going anywhere. Whereas the Cam being voted out twist, like no one was in on that. So I think that that is the difference between the two. Like this house did want him out. Unanimously. So maybe they'll get it this time.
Okay. All right. Yes. We'll take some questions from the chat. Okay. Chappelle is here. He said
Major Tool.
I love
how
that
so
was like,
real for that.
That was like universal per everyone.
Yeah. Okay.
I know an F-bomb when I hear one, even if it's covered up, Jacob.
All right. So, here's a question from Barrel Walt. Once Cam leaves, who becomes the house target? Is it still AmeriCorey? Wouldn't Matt and Jag jump up the list? Sounds like that Cam was a good shield for them. I dislike Cam, but still. I mean, I think it depends on who wins this HOH. This is going to be a very pivotal HOH now coming up this week.
Absolutely. And this is why, like, if you go back to all the updates and podcasts from last week, Taryn was talking about how it made sense for Matt and Jag to wait one more week before they started turning on Cameron, and they just didn't do that. So they could become a big target.
All right.
And people are already starting to suss out Matt and Jag this week as well. And so I think their projection of the future of the game is different. People have different motives as well. And so I think they're just focused on themselves and other people are clicking onto their games.
Yeah.
I might just be banking on like winning every comp once Cameron's out of the way. I don't know. They're thinking like we're getting down to it as long as we can beat Corey and get him out.
Like who wants to win this HOH? I feel like almost everyone is saying they're going to throw it.
I don't know. We'll find out in 2 days.
I hope Cirie wins.
48 hours.
God, I pray a Cirie.
If it takes everyone else throwing for her to win, I will still take
it's like
it.
Christmas with a broken leg HOH.
Yeah.
And that goes to show her social power, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. How about question okay, on that note, from Ms. Brown Sugar, do all the house guests realize now that this is a major HOH and no one should plan on throwing it?
They do not. They want to throw.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think pretty much all of them have said they're going to throw it.
Because I think the consensus among like the two groups among people's targets are Matt and Jag and America and Corey.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like either of those two would be targeted. But again, like Kirsten said, none of them really have the agency to want to win it.
Okay.
Well, and
No, I feel like Felicia.
She always wants to win.
Yeah, I feel like I feel
Yeah.
like she'll go, balls to the wall for it.
She's got winners, like, she's got that winner vibe.
She's got the blood of a winner.
Yeah,
The
but
faith of a mustard seed.
depending on like what the comp is, do we trust that anyone has the like ability to know who would be a bad HOH for them? Because that's the problem, is like, I know Corey has had a really hard time like fully seeing like how in danger he has been at points. So it's like, if it gets down to a certain amount of people, do we think that people were like, initially I was trying to throw it, but we got down to these people and I realized that like those were bad situations for me, so I tried to win. Like, it just depends on what the comp is and whether you can even do that.
I feel like if America and Corey are still up, Jag and Matt will still be up. And Felicia's going to be up no matter what. And vice versa amongst those two groups, I feel like.
Okay.
Yeah. So I feel like people are speculating that this, and I don't know if we have any evidence to back this up, but a lot of people are thinking this is going to be the HOH where you're like on the string, standing on a platform, swinging around. I don't know why people think that's the HOH.
How do people
like,
get so specific with their guesses?
Because people
were saying slip and slide too.
See, I don't know. I saw a lot of people talking about the swinging around one. I don't think we have any evidence to indicate that. But like, if that's it,
it's like people get one idea and then it's like, that's it. People are talking about it. That's the idea.
One tweet.
You're right.
Yeah. Now they did say it was going to be the return of the comics verse, so maybe that the HOH is some kind of like comics theme. Well, that's going to be the veto, but it'll be some kind of like comics themed HOH. So I don't know what that puts in play.
Yeah.
And we'll find out. Yeah, we'll find out if it's going to be something that they will do on the Thursday night episode. And then, okay, I got one more question. Okay. Jules wants to know, how fast will Cam claim he already suspected that Jared is Cerie's son? He won't, because he's on the jury. We don't get to hear Julie ask the question anymore.
But if she did, he would be like, "Oh, I knew that."
Yeah.
I think it would be really. I really wish he was just pre-jury, so that she could have said, "Who do you think is a secret relationship?" And he would have said, "Felicia and Denzel Washington, obviously." And then she's like,
"Same. I wish we'd have got that moment too."
Obviously.
Yeah. Okay.
He's like, "Oh, I've been saying that. I've been saying that all season." Yeah.
All right.
Wait, have that conversation been in any of the episodes? Like his speculation about Denzel?
It was in
speculation
early.
Yeah.
And since they had that conversation recently, I feel like that's going to tie in. Maybe
it'll be on Thursday.
They might use that for filler if they need it tomorrow or whatever day. See, I don't even know what day it is either. Rob.
We talked about it on the slop earlier tonight. Myself and Jason Reed.
What day is it? Or that conversation? Oh wait,
just the concept of time.
Felicia's
it was 27 hours ago. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Anything else from the Big Brother multiverse tonight? Okay. Otherwise, let me tell you about what else is coming up here, because we had a big live show a week ago, last Wednesday night. We had our big live show in New York City, and then coming up the first week of November, it's going to be 2 nights in Brea, California. I will be doing Survivor on Wednesday, November 1st. And then Big Brother on Thursday, November 2nd. You can go ahead and go to robhasawebsite.com/SurvivorLA for our Wednesday show. That will be a big event for sure. And then for Big Brother for November 2nd, go to robhasawebsite.com/BBLA. I don't know if we've announced this anywhere yet, but we're going to have a costume contest both those nights. That we are having a Survivor costume contest for Wednesday night, and then a Big Brother costume contest for Thursday night. It's Halloween week. It's a big deal, Halloween in LA, so we can celebrate it all week long. And let me just make sure. Maybe tomorrow night I'll announce what the prizes are going to be. I got to make sure I'm not giving away a bigger prize than we should for that. So let me double check before I just run my mouth here on the podcast. All right. Okay. Costume contest for that. And then I talked with Ira Madison III from the Keep It podcast on the Survivor Feedback Show. We had a lot of fun talking through everything. Kirsten, we even talked about the new Taylor Swift Survivor promo.
The whole Feedback Show was such a dream. I'm such a Keep It fan, such an Ira fan. Just love seeing him getting involved with RHAPpy. When's my turn?
Yep. Well, it was a fun podcast talking about Survivor there. You can catch that at RHAPpysWebsite.com. Also, we had coming up for you, Buddy Games is going to be back on Thursday night. But Jenny, you and I got into all things Buddy Games, which, surprise, surprise, we've actually been enjoying the Buddy Games.
Been a good time. It's been really fun seeing you be pleasantly surprised by how much you
I didn't think
enjoy
so.
the show.
I was like, okay, I'll trudge through Buddy Games, but no, Buddy Games has grown on us.
Like, it's light, but it's also strategic. It's fun. It's like an easy watch.
Boy, and if you just watch one episode, watch episode 3 from Buddy Games. That's where the drama.
Do 3 and 4. I feel like the 4.
You could jump right into 3 and 4. I think.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I remember when they were doing casting for this show, and I was like, "Oh, let me get what? I don't even know if isn't it older people?
Yeah,
Jacob,
you're not
too
old
young
enough to
for
be.
it.
Okay,
yeah. I was like, it's older people, right? I was like, oh, that'll be fine. And but I haven't watched that. I should watch it.
I mean, I would love to see the wrinkle of Jacob Jones having a team on Buddy Games to just really spice things up.
Yeah.
This is my dream show to be on, honestly. Like,
Jenny, can I be on your Buddy Games team?
I would love nothing more. I would love nothing more.
What's the winning amount for it?
200,000.
Like
but you split it
really
4 ways.
random.
Yeah.
But we don't know that, because you don't necessarily split it 4
okay.
ways.
Yeah, but the winning team gets 200K. Yeah.
I'd split it 4 ways with you, Jenny.
Yes. Okay. All right. There was plenty of mess on Buddy Games the last couple of weeks. Kirsten, what's the latest mess on the mess magnets?
Yes. So last week we talked about some TikTok drama. We have been, on the Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce train months before everybody else. And we're recording our new episode tomorrow. So there should be a lot more mess there.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. You were on the train early.
Choo choo.
Yeah.
Ooh,
We were there
that
first.
sound.
Yes. And it's real. Is that real? Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce?
I think that it is public relations with the NFL, but people have different opinions on that.
No America and Corey.
No, absolutely
No
not.
America and Corey.
No.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. All right. Of course, we got so much going on in our Patron podcast feed these days. Between I just got done with the slop earlier tonight. We'll be doing Survivor Q&A on Thursday night, Big Brother Q&A as well, and not to mention everything that's going on in our Patron community. Discounts for the live shows, international reality shows like The Traders, and more. You can get access to everything we're doing at robbinswebsite.com/patron. Finally, then subscribe to all of our shows at robbinswebsite.com/subscribe, and then join Taryn tomorrow morning on Wednesday for the Wednesday live feed update at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific. There you go. That's the latest happenings from here at RHAPpy. Jacob, what's coming up for you?
Coming up for me, I'm on the slop next week with you. So you're coming up for me.
Wow.
Let's get sloppy.
Yes.
Remember I told you that, Rob?
Look, it is one of the highlights of the season when Jacob comes on the slop.
It's just too bad that one will never be unlocked,
No, cannot.
You definitely have to become a patron for that one.
I do love the slop.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of my favorites. And yeah, just working on some music, working on some life. Yeah.
Like all of us.
We're trying, babes.
But he's doing it like better than all of us.
Yes, that is fair.
Like he's working on life, but like he's
like living more than the rest of us somehow.
Yes. He's working on life, but making it look easy. Okay, great job, Jacob. Thanks for being here with us tonight. Jenny, until we talk buddy games on Thursday, what else is coming up?
That's what is on my horizon is buddy games. It's
Jenny, are you interested in another show that's premiering this week?
I'm interested.
Called House of Villains. Is that an interesting show for you?
It does intrigue me.
Yeah. All right. Well, if people
are we talking about this? Are we talking about
I don't know. If people want it, if we hear from people, maybe we should do a podcast about it.
I think people want a podcast.
I think y'all should.
I'm people. I want a podcast about it.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see what the feedback is.
Yeah, I think that like there might be a couple people interested, but if we get some reinforcement that this is an interest.
Yeah, only if people are requesting it, I think. Then maybe
we're a podcast of the people, right?
Yes, yes. So. Okay. All right. Well, Jenny, great job here tonight. And then Kirsten, what else is coming up for you?
Yes, so of course, the Mess Magnets. I also guested on the 90 Day Fiance podcast with Puya today, talking about the premiere of the season 10 of 90 Day Fiance. I think Jenny, you might have forgotten a little something that we will be doing together next week.
I didn't forget. I don't know. I just don't know what I'm allowed to talk about things. Like I'm terrible at plugging. I just don't know.
It's okay. What are you doing?
It's okay. We could talk about it. F-Boy Island is coming back, and so are Jenny and I on the Hot Dummies on Islands feed to break it down. It should be really fun. The show got saved by the CW. We'll see how that changes things.
And Canada's on City TV if you are interested.
Did y'all cover? Did you cover season 1 of that show?
We did season 1, and then season 2 happened at like the most atrocious time of all for both of us. But we're back for season 3. Baby.
But my barber who cuts my hair comes to my home. He was on he was on that show season. He was
at the horn.
He was on season 1 of that show.
He was on season 1.
Was he a nice guy?
Wait, who was he?
His name is Colin.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
I know.
No, I remember he is a barber. Yeah.
Yeah, he's supposed to come over tomorrow. Cut my hair.
Yes.
You're gonna see him tomorrow. That's wild.
Yeah.
Okay, well, tell him hello for us. I don't remember what we said about him 2 years ago.
I haven't watched the show, but
but yeah, and you can
Boy
find me
Island.
everywhere.
Effing Boy
Kirsten
Island.
said what? Also, don't forget.
Okay. All right, Kirsten, great job here tonight. Thank you all so much for joining us here for our Tuesday night Big Brother recap. Take care, everybody. Have a good one. Bye.